as we go into the second wave of bans.
I feel like Loki's fallen off lately because like everyone used to love picking that god, and now like people were first picking it, and now it seems like he's either doesn't get picked or he's getting picked down here in bottom of like the end of like the top 3 picks.
Yeah, I mean, he had that hybrid meta for him, and that I think really fit him, but that's gone. No shot for him as Honor is banned away, as well as the Baba Yaga and the new rising star of the solo lane, Hell.
Yeah, I think that Baba ban. I hate Baba playing against her when she just goes into the house and just makes her so hard to dive.
And speaking of hard to dive or lock down, Tyr gets banned away as well. But yeah, I mean, she gets now that there's no boots, you can instantly buy a Warlock staff, or at least get way quicker than you used to. So she has 2 stacking items that she gets 30% pen off of in 2 items. So it's ridiculous. As Achilles is locked in solo lane, and Raijin is being hovered. Chang'e
They really
instead?
want to play the healer.
Wow. I mean, I love the Bongo Man as much as anyone else, but Chang'e being locked in. You know, she doesn't do as much damage, of course, but she's got that healing. She's got that immunity factor in her kit. And she's also got potential to have a massive stun.
Yeah, I was about to say that just if she catches them like lining up just for 1 second and tosses the ult, then I believe it can be up to a 4 or 5 second stun.
And Chang'e stun. Yeah, 5 seconds, and I do not believe it's DR'd.
That Terra picks is that Terra going solo or is that Terra going into the support lane? Terra solo and then Ymir support. Okay, I like that Terra solo. Terra's gotta be like one of my favorite guardians to play in solo. We see the Olympians choose to lock the Chernobog for their last pick. I think he's definitely gonna make life hard for the Overlords with his global ultimate, but plus the emoji. In terms of draft, who do you like more, Gaming Fan? I think I honestly like the Olympians draft more with the Yemoja and the Chernobog. He has crashed. Alright, so apparently I'm flying solo. I personally like this Olympians draft more with this Yemoja. I'm a little worried about like the Giannis though, because if they put them into the in the River's Rebuke, then I'm wondering how much damage Giannis is going to be able to toss in there. Probably just tosses 2 and run away. Meanwhile, Chernobog will probably be in there having his oboe proc. Although the side of Overlords is also very tanky, and Giannis is going to have a really hard time dealing with that, with only having 1 or 2 abilities to really do damage to them.
This is true. I'm gonna cover for a little bit as Gaming Fan is kind of figuring out his internet things. However, I will say, just as a heads up for everyone, we'll see it as soon as we get into game. However, we do have some new faces in the side of Odin division today. We have, sorry, as I'm trying to fix everybody's things as it goes, go back to live scene. There he goes. All right. We do have the Private Fuzzy filling in for support for the Overlord Odin roster. And we have the wonderful, the great, Desto the Great, picked up for free agency, is finally in Odin division. We're going to see if he can strut his stuff today on the Loki. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it should be a pretty decent set. I know the Olympians have been struggling, but maybe with the sub, with their new pickup, and then Overlord's using a Thor player, maybe they'll be able to pull something out.
Who knows? I mean, it's entirely possible. I know Binsu Bob on the Terra does absolutely adore that pick. He finds Terra very fun. Chang'e, I think, is still pretty good. Chang'e, to be honest, is pretty okay.
No, I'm still on the fence about this Chang'e pick. Like, I feel like both teams this game are going to struggle to kill tanks.
They'll struggle to kill tanks, sure. Oh wait, they're deciding to go for a very interesting start. They're opting to go for the old. I want to say that's the old start, where jungler and mid go for red.
Are you in game?
Oh. I changed it on stream, but not on that. Also, not going to talk about it. I may have gone live halfway through Pixel Bands because I thought I clicked go live and I did not actually click the button. So we missed the whole first half of Pixel Bands on stream, but we're not going to talk about it. Anyway.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense now. You see Private Fuzzy taking major damage over here in duo.
I think he'll be fine, though. I think he'll be just kind of taking some poke and doing things. Desto brought very, very, very low by both Archer and Jinx. Oh, does Longfound die here? Oh, lands the basics and does get the first blood to Archer in the mid lane. Longfound, that is not where you want to end up, my friend.
I'm kind of curious what happened there. They really just... Probably they settled too close to the Erlong, and the Erlong just knocked up and
I think
somebody.
so, yeah. Did a whole bunch of damage, and then Chunga just did Chunga things.
Then this Terra is going to be very happy she finally at level 3 over here in the duo. Or over here in solo, just makes her whole kit start working.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I like Terra as a god. She's very polarizing to play against, I will say. But I don't find her the most engaging god to necessarily play against, but you know, it happens. I'm trying to be very nice about it.
I think whenever they hit late game, though, they kind of have a nasty thing, because if she like blink Terra ults and then Tusky goes through and Obo starts proccing on for the Terra ults,
That's
I
true.
can just make Terra ult go to work.
Yeah, and we do have one of the premier soul laners in the Odin division, in Beansuit Bob, also known as Parrot. So we know he's gonna make it work as best he can.
So looking at starts here on the side of Olympians, the Emoja Wally next door has opted to still go to the Benevolence.
See, I don't think I've seen a Benevolence since the update.
No, I've
general.
been seeing everyone, including supports, go into Sentinel's Gift.
Just going for red. I do agree. Sorry, apologies everyone. I forgot to click the button. There we go. Fixed it. Lovely. Yeah, I've seen most people go Sentinels. I mean, there's been a couple of cases of animosity in Soul Lane that I've seen, but other than that, I really haven't been seeing Benevolence as much. So I guess we'll see. I mean, it might give him a little bit more gold. Give his team more gold. So, because now it is what? 3 gold per 5 and 0.5 per level, and then 1 XP for 5.3 per level. So we're gonna see it possibly do some work, but it is not. It is a far cry from where the item used to be. That's for sure. We do see everybody's pretty much even. Dual lane on the side of Olympians does have a little bit of a lead. There is a lead for Archer in the mid lane.
Yeah, Chandra from ahead can be really hard to kill. If they don't get this dealt with soon.
This is true. I agree. I mean, you have... Oh, well, looks like Longfound's going to get caught out here a little bit. Does have to burn the ultimate to get away. Did burn the beads as well. So that's Giannis
good
beads
for them, though,
and
that he burned
ultimate.
the ultimate. If they can keep this... Oh, we see Desto get a kill over here in duo.
Private Fuzzy's caught out a little bit, but they're going to be coming over. Here comes the God Squad. Changa ultimate does come out. Loki ultimate is used. Both stunned. Jinx Q is brought very low. Is there enough? Desto does get a kill. He's going to fall here. He does fall into the trap by the Crown Hound. Another one for one trade. Both junglers die. But Loki now has 2 kills. So, or sorry, no, it was 2 for 1 because Fuzzy also died earlier as well. I mean, I think if you're Olympians, you take that, right? It's a 2 for 1 trade. Yeah, your jungler dies, but
yeah, I think they take it, but at the same time, the Changa also got an assist, and I don't think they want this Changa getting much of anything right now. And while
That's
Loki,
true.
the one who got both the kills, also died, unfortunately. But he still does get the lead over the Erlang Shen.
Step up your game.
I mean, especially Erlang, like you want to try and get an early damage. I believe Loki is still considered as probably one of the top, if not the top jungler right now.
I got you.
Interesting though, he chose to start the Boomba Spear, even though we've been seeing most every jungler start either Eye of the Jungle or Mannequin Scepter.
I believe I heard from the Mr. Waddles earlier that you should be building Bubba's dagger on Loki. Supposedly.
Yeah, no.
But it's
Yeah,
a
I can
Loki
definitely see
thing,
why you want it
not a jungle thing.
Looking
We'll
at builds
see.
here, they all look relative. Oh, wait, no, the Emoja chooses to go to Lotus Crown instead of looking for the Gauntlet of Thebes.
I was talking to people about that earlier, and I was talking to Eugene and a couple of other people, and he said basically it's pretty much a by choice thing. The ultimate does come out, and Desto the Great is Desto the Gone. Armor Wolf does try and get a stun, but the Riptide bops him back over to his lane, and he walks away. Jinx Q does try and go on to Longfound, is brought very, very, very low. The portal is almost good. It almost saves his life, but there's 3 people there, and he does fall down.
Erlon just got the big kill from his ultimate there. So unfortunately, Giannis couldn't find the kill. He did big damage there, though. If that Giannis had just been a little bit more to the right, he probably would have hit that Shanga, and they would have been able to find the kill.
It happens. I mean, that's when you say we'll get him next time. And Crown Hound and Armor Wolf in a little bit of a spat here, and Crown Hound does fall to Armor Wolf. Does he back in time, though? Oh, Archer does not decide to go for it. Opts to go for back to mid lane for farm instead.
Unfortunately, it looks like both of them burned their ults there for that fight as well. Artemis did use the Tusky, but Turnabog managed to retain his beats from it.
Yeah, Turnabog, I mean, didn't even have to use beads. I mean, I think goes without saying Armor Wolf is one of the very much top-end ADC players in this division. Looking very good here. Does end up getting the solo kill. But, I mean, Artemis does also have a kill too, so it's helpful.
Well, it does look like he has the lead right now, depending on Artemis after this purple buff. Oh no, actually, he hasn't even done his. Yeah, so.
Oh, an ultimate onto Longfound, brought very, very low. Oh, the emoji ultimate saves his life.
That was unfortunate. That was a great wall by that Ymir to stop that Giannis from reaching the back of his tower. Fortunately, the emoji just ulted and they couldn't reach it.
It was a good wall, but a better emoji ultimate. That's kind of all she wrote there. And I think honestly,
so this jungle's working out pretty effectively right now for them, and it looks like the Terra has the pressure over here over the Achilles.
Huh. Interesting. Parrot decides to opt for the conduit gem on the Terra. I don't think I've ever seen that. Longfound, it does portal over, does not end up finding anything. It's just gonna go back to his lane. Interesting that he decided to offer the conduit gem. I mean, I think we've been seeing a lot of Amp Shroud on Guardians, and Longfound is going to be long gone. Back to the base gray screen stimulator for another 20 seconds. You hate to see it, but unfortunately, if you're Giannis and you're behind, you just kind of get poop-bead on, and it is what it is.
I mean, he probably chose to get the conduit gem because this team is probably going to get a bunch of anti-heal for his ultimate, and just he already has healing in general.
This is true.
Although we do see him going for this blue here. No one on his team is there to help him, and he gets it
and then
by
he stole
himself.
it. A parrot. That's mean.
That's a feels bad, man.
That's you really hate to see it. And Jinx is just gonna be able to get the Scorpion for free. No contest from the enemy team whatsoever. And then Parrot also gets his own blue buff as well.
It looks like
Has a 2-level lead already. Well, about a level and a
all
half.
of Overlords already have about a 2k gold lead for this game. Which can be a little terrifying to see.
Yeah, 2k gold lead at 10 minutes. I mean, it's a good lead, but it's not insurmountable. Like, Olympians can definitely clean themselves up and figure out what to do for the rest of the game. And still have a very... Like, once team fight starts, when people start going for gold theories and things like that, it's definitely going to be a little better for them.
Depending on what this Terra does as well, it could end poorly for them if this Terra rotates on over. I believe she has like a 1 to 2 level lead over this Achilles right now.
Yeah, I mean, these Chang'e ultimates have been absolutely stellar right now. Oh, Giannis ultimate is used. Desto gets a 3-man stun onto all 3 of them. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Longfound gets the portal, but here comes Tusky, and Crown Hound takes out Desto. Armor Wolf gets away with his tail between his legs, or his wings between his legs, I guess. Oh, does want to go in for Archer, but does not end up getting any more damage than just a little bit. And they do get out. This is a 2 for 0, right?
Mm-hmm. And they're also low, and it looks like they do want to pull this gold. They have to be worried about the Chernobog here.
I think Armor Wolf just dies if he goes in here, but they're brought very low.
He has his Giannis here.
Good
The thing is, yeah,
portal, but here comes Terra.
For long enough.
Does solo ult the Giannis and does end up getting the kill too. And here comes Terra, gonna be able to possibly kill Armor Wolf as well. Oh, and the Yamoja portal ends up booping Armor Wolf back into the team, and he ends up falling. Oh, you really hate to see it. That's the Yamoja portal that you just kind of shake your head and go, it happens.
I mean, that's just what I was talking about with the Terra rotating on over, because it looked like...
Oh, Desto stole
Olympians
it!
stole that!
That's huge! Desto stole it, and then Owen Diff is going to get another kill, and he's going to... Oh, almost get it. Does end up popping the 2. Oh, beautiful wall up from Private Fuzzy, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to live this. Looks like he's going to be caught here. Desto gets one more hit, but unfortunately it's not enough damage. Desto the Great with the fantastic Gold Fury steal.
Yep. I mean, I think the Armor Wolf did a good job of just stalling at that Gold Fury, hiding in the wall and whatnot, but then it was unfortunate when, you know, Terra just rotates and she's just massive, but then luckily Desto gets the steal and Achilles finds a kill, almost 2. Definitely well played. Olympians showing they're not out of this game yet, although the gold lead is still 2k, even though they got that Gold Fury.
I definitely think that Olympians can go back for this. I think this is definitely better than they looked recently. I'm not sure necessarily if the honest pick is really working out, but yeah, I mean, I believe they picked the honest fairly early, correct?
Yeah, they picked it top 2.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why they decided to go for the Chunga and Terra and having a little more healing is because, as people are most likely going to know, Giannis does not build anti-heal well. Giannis absolutely hates anti-heal. It's one of his least favorite things to do in the entire video game. So, but you know, when you have a Giannis, he doesn't really spread it well, and even if he does build it, it's not like the best item on him. So you kind of have almost a free healing comp in some respects too. I'm not sure who got that.
Terra did.
Terra did get it. Okay.
Healing everything.
Oh, and here comes the Giannis ultimate over to the left. Crownhound burning both relics, is just trying to live. Armor Wolf takes him out. No, indeed. Jinx 2 just used ultimate off the long found. Does burn beads, but is going to be caught out again, and he's going to fall one more time. ADC for mid laner. One more time. Unfortunately, long found is 0-5 at the moment.
They did also commit a lot just to kill Crown Tide, but then again, they also got all of his relics and his ultimate.
Exactly.
But they did manage to get that Giannis beats though, so that's gonna play into. Although, shocking thing here, even though Giannis is 0-5 at the moment, he's only 1 level down to this Changa.
This is true, and that's what happens when you farm, ladies and gentlemen.
Not even a benevolence in the game, and it's still happening.
This is true. Oh my god, I remember we were playing our personal set against Olympians the other week, and it was like the more benevolences won the game, which is that item was. It will fall into history as one of the most broken items in this game, but unfortunately has been nerfed. Well, actually, fortunately for the competitive scene. I still think Crownhound, like, he's only 1 level behind. He's still doing very okay for himself.
Actually, even in level now, he's doing more than a great job of keeping up.
Mm-hmm. I think he's been doing wonderfully. I mean, Archer is kind of free casting at the moment with a lot of the Chunga abilities, just kind of able to press 4 whenever he possibly can. And I mean, overall, yeah, they're down still around 2k, but we're looking for a fight here. Ultimate directly on a long found is knocked up. The Aegis is good, but unfortunately the damage is better. Desto does use the portal and gets out the opposite direction, but here comes Crownhound with a beautiful Tusky onto 2. but it is not quite enough.
Jinx is doing so much on this Erlang right now. He's just coming up behind them, knocking them up, pinning them while they're just getting beat on by a Chang'e, and they're dead. They're just like dead before they even get unrooted.
Unfortunately, Owendiff does get hit. Beansoup Bob does dash directly through. I don't think he's going to make it, but Jinx is gonna get the pin. Oh, it does. Blink is good. Is gonna save Owendiff's life. I forget what Owendiff's name before that was.
Sympathy Suck?
Ah, that's what it is. Okay. I was like, I remember him, but like not sure why. Got it.
I got you.
Oh, and also it's an update. Gaming Fan should be back hopefully soon. He's updating his computer. He's having some technical difficulties. It's always when I stream, there's always technical difficulties. It's hence the nickname.
The Chernobog opted to only go the Ichabod out of the bow tree, and then he goes into Aussie and Kins. And I do kind of like that Kins pickup because he's definitely going to need it like early this game against this Ymir, Terra, and Erlang Shen that are all just going to be running at him.
Erlang already has a Toxic Blade online. And, I mean, you have the Evolved Thebes. Perman doesn't give health, but I'm not exactly sure what... looks like Armorwolf might be in trouble here. It does dash away, but does not get to the wall. Knocked up by Jinx. Brought very low. Is taken out. 3 from Artemis is good. One time, I don't remember what that ability is actually called.
Just a tad too late to save Armorwolf there.
Suppress the Insolent is the name of that. And they do want to go for the Primal Fear here.
Olympians doesn't look like they want to give it up though.
They unfortunately do end up having to give it up. Deso does not get another beautiful steal, unfortunately, but it does indeed happen.
I mean, Overlords just are beginning to sit tight on this lead. It's gone from 2K to 4K now. I don't think they can pull the Fire Giant just yet, unless they get like a big team fight and win it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure they're quite ready to do that. Interesting. So, Beansoup Bob has opted for 2 flat pen items now. Does have the Spear of the Magus and is building into Enchanted Spear. It's going to be a Spear of Desolation. I was going to say it might be Divine, but they already do have a Divine, so they don't really need a second one. Interesting to see that he's opted for no percentage pen. But
yeah, I'm almost worried that that's going to become this team's downfall. They're just not going to be able to kill this tanky comp that Overlords is bringing to the game.
I'm trying to think of... And Jinx is just going to be stealing the enemy jungle is 3 levels above this poor Loki. The River's Rebuke is used, but Jinx does blink in, does miss the ultimate, unfortunately. Does portal in, Beads does pick up Wally. Private Fuzzy does try and use the ultimate. I think that Yano's ultimate healed Chang'e, I'm pretty sure. I didn't even see it do damage.
It looks like they also want to pull the Fire Giant here, though, now that the Olympians no longer have River's Rebuke to help defend it. Or maybe, oh no, they're just waiting on Pyro. I'm stupid.
I'm not sure even should they get this quickly without either Artemis or Erlang. Looks like Erlang's, after checking the zone, is going to come over for it. Jinx's Q is playing extremely well.
Yeah, for sure. It's looking like the Olympians are just struggling like to even defend these objectives now, and if they don't find a way to do so soon, this gold lead's only going to get worse and worse.
Absolutely, they're definitely trying to make it work. I think the deficit that their mid laner has been in for most of the game, but it looks like Jinx is going to get caught out here. Does pop the turtle, tries to get away. Behind you is good. Execute is better. JQ does fall. Ultimate is used for walling next door, but I think Archer is going to live. A beautiful freeze out there for the Ymir might possibly keep Archer alive. Beautiful Ymir ultimate as well. And here comes Beansoup Bob. Is going to pop Desto face. Private Fuzzy picks up another kill, but unfortunately, Ymir wall does stop them from chasing Longfound.
There's just awkward by the Olympians. The Olympians started it off with like such a good play onto Jinx, just kind of 4-man grouping and just insta killing him, but then they kind of just chased it so far that they ended up turning a 1-kill trade into a 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm. Longfront does burn the ultimate for, I'm not quite sure why. I don't think that was going to kill, but I mean, I will say Longfound is 0 and 6, Archer's 3 and 0, and he's only down 1 level. So
It looks like the biggest level deficits are in the jungle and the jungle and the support pools right now. Which kind of just makes sense because Jinx has just been all over this map. I don't think Loki's been safe in his own jungle for quite a while now.
Ooh, it's really tough for Desto. Desto is unfortunately level 14 right now. And actually even worse, the Emoja's level 12. There's really not much she's going to be able to do, especially since you're not going to be able to upgrade that Benevolence into a Compassion until quite a lot later into the game, when possibly Overlord may have already ended the game at that point, potentially.
Also, looks like Parrot's looking to go almost full damage with just a Lotus Crown for defense so far.
I think it's definitely an interesting build. We'll see how it works. Also, I believe
I don't think he's gonna need much magical defense this game. That's one of like the best parts about playing against a Giannis. You kind of just get to say, I don't need magical defense because he's just gonna run away from me and never be near me. But
Yeah, but that's all fun games. They'll get one shot by that ultimate. You know, technically can't one shot anymore. It'll still get you basically to one shot to his abilities.
But this Cherno is going to do big damage thing because even though he doesn't have a lot of magical prots, he still doesn't have a lot of physical prots either, and he's going to go another damage item right after he finishes his starter.
I normally know what type of item they're going next, but I can't quite pin. I mean, it's probably Soul Reaver, but I won't call it another item, but I don't want to say exactly. Right now, if you're a Chernobog, you know what they normally can do?
It's probably not going to be a Book of Thoth.
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
Great freeze onto the Achilles. CS uses beats to get away. Although Erlong's in the back on Longfound.
But look at the left side though. Jinx just takes one off, and another one gets picked off by that Terra ultimate. Huge Artemis. That could just spell deicide. As the Achilles also weigh in. He might not get away from this
Terra route. He's not able to escape.
And that's a full-on deicide. But
that was a great. Jinx immediately went on Longfound on the back there and like insta killed him. Then while that was happening, Artemis just comes in and really unleashes Tusky onto their team.
Yeah, I mean a 3-man stun at the end. It's almost at the point where it's like you don't forget it's there per se, but you kind of like leg go for a second. You're like, oh, it's over there, won't come to me, and then one person gets hit by it, and then everyone else gets hit by it. And that's, you know, Tusky is killable after the first stun, but unless you're basically already dropping ability on the person who got stunned by it, there's really, it's not too often you get to hit it. It has a quick dash.
Yeah, no, killing Tusky in itself is hard, but yeah, once it stuns the first person and you can hit it, sometimes killing that thing could make or break a team fight.
Yeah, definitely. Now, if you're Olympians, I think you got us in this Chernobog to the opposite side of the push that Overlord is doing. I mean, it's just a classic Chernobog strategy, just to get something out, to get some extra farm, you know, for him to get level 20 and get that full build.
Honestly, it might be better to have Loki just do it, because I think they're going to give up these towers anyway. So I think they should just send Loki over there, have him hit 20, well, he may not hit 20, but he'll definitely be like level 18, 19 by next fight. Because I don't think he's going to he hit 17 now, so he's farming on his own, I guess.
But one thing Loki does have too is that he can stealthily take away a wave. You can just drop a decoy over the wall, and while it won't instantly kill the wave, it'll get down to the point where your minions will kill him without much harm to your own minions. And that's really just the advantage he has.
So Overlords still have a ton of time on this FG. I'm curious if they'll look for a bird push here.
Yeah, I mean, Nor Towers, it looks like Olympians were trying to set up something there, but not having much room to do so, and they will be dewarded. Yeah, Ymir is great on these sieges. I mean, just gonna drop a wall right there. Actually, he drops it on aggressively, and they get the feeds off of one of the carries in the backline. Yamajo celebrates a fight. Yasuo comes through and misses. However, look at the backside. I mean, oh no, Jinx doesn't get the kill in the end. No, he gets turned around on. And Yasuo picks up that kill. One drops, but the Phoenix does as well. I can make that two possibly if the Terra just needs one more CC on them. Or maybe a Giannis portal from the side, but no. Blinks out and perfectly fine.
So
But
might have to
yeah,
sack
this
the
is
Amir
for-
here now, though.
paying for the sins of everyone else as always. As a
Although, if
support.
they come out of this jungle, I don't think they know Changa's here.
Yeah,
Changa has
blinking.
ultimate back up.
Oh my god, the turnaround! I mean, that was. Okay, I said Chunga earlier didn't do that much damage when we were fixing bans, but
Yeah,
I
apparently we were,
might have lied a little bit right
we were
there.
wrong. Archer just pulled up there and said, "Let me just end the game right quick."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you saw. I mean, she came around the corner. I thought she was gonna get a much bigger stun, but I mean, I guess all you needed was a two-man stun, and well, that just ended the game. I mean, that was just. I mean, it's a sacrificial
I don't
shroud. That's
I
part
don't even know
of
what
it.
to say about that.
Yeah.
Changa just pulled up and did so much damage. Just immediately killed like the entire team.
Yeah, great bait by the tanks at the end there, you know. Setting up that play for the Changa that was planned from the very start. They gotta love these healers. I mean, it seems
Yeah.
like they're kind of sneaking their way back into things.
I
Especially
definitely
with all
think
the
they
miss
need to
going.
give Longfound a hand here next game so that he doesn't just get ran at and farmed while he's in laning phase. Or they
Yeah, I
just need to,
mean,
I don't know, maybe put him on a pick that's not Giannis, or like a pick that can do big damage in those team fights. Because it's
yeah,
such a struggle to do it on Giannis.
I mean, Giannis to get his damage off very consistently, you need both a comp that has direct and hard CC and comms that have great calling out.
Hmm.
Because I mean, yeah, his Unstable Vortex can one-hit squishy at times, but I mean, you still need that setup for most of the stuff he does. And good teams will obviously be able to play against his little trickery he does with his portals and everything.
I mean, yeah, we saw Parrot go, I think that was pretty much full damage on Terra. Although I don't think I got to see what his last item was in the book tree.
It was Soul River, yeah.
It was,
I mean, he did have a Lotus Crown. Lotus Crown is technically protections. It's in that tree of items.
so on the next game here, I feel like the Olympians, they gotta find a way to like make whatever happened in mid just not happen again. Because Archer just like got that lead, and even though they were like equal in level, it just didn't even seem like it because Archer was just all over the map causing problems for Olympians.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to match his rotations. I mean, especially when you have a Giannis on your team. Yeah, he technically has 3 movement abilities, but for the sake of typical transportation, he has 2. He has his portal through the wall and his little speed line.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, I'm sure they had a ton of like just frustration trying to kill that Chang'e with her too, just being able to immune Aegis plus beads, just anything that goes on you, just you get away.
Yeah, I mean, Chang'e and Afro, they both get a free Bees Aegis in an ability, and Chang'e, well, she gets it in a non-ultimate ability, which is up every yeah, with mage cooldowns, it can feel like it's up every 5 seconds at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It probably could be if you built like Genji's maybe on top of a Chronos Prime maybe 40%.
Genji's plus Deso.
Yeah, there's that too. I mean, release or I guess season 8 release of Death, so I mean that ability you could probably just do like a Hebo one, just one after the other.
Nah,
But
you don't even need the Deso for the Habwa. Like, his cooldown on his one is already like 1. Do you think we might see a Habwa this game? Either team will try to pick it.
I mean, I don't know, Hebo hasn't been really seen that much recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, unless it counters something or it's an comfort pick or there's a 1-up card, I don't really see him coming
Was it
around.
was picked last week, I believe. Cody picked it into KWM.
Interesting.
That pick
I
just
mean,
causes like so many because that he only need if you're like out of position for 1 second, you're just immediately dead against that god. He just ults you and drops, just ults you and uses the one, and now all of a sudden your HP has disappeared.
yeah, but at the same time, if he whiffs that ult, it's the same thing on his case.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing he's got to live usually at that point is a hard knockup, but if you play around knockups correctly, you can get launched straight towards him and just beat him down anyways.
So looks like we're finally into game 2. Olympians choose to take the first pick for themselves this game.
I mean, if you're looking at things to ban out, the Chunga's that big of an issue because I think both Chunga and Terra both went flawless that game. Those two, I mean, it depends on what you want to take out, or what your team comp is that you want to take out. Do you want to take out? Do you want to take a comp that focuses on against the Terra better and let them have it, or do you want to just eliminate that mage? Because I mean, as we saw in that last fight, she has one shot potential and can do all the other things Chunga does between the healing and invulnerability.
Do you think Olympians opt to ban the Changa this game or strip it away?
I mean, I wouldn't say strip it away, but probably a ban, although I wouldn't see it as a first 3 necessarily. They'd have to hope that Overlord decides not to pick it up early. Because again,
Well, I
like I
believe they
mentioned,
did. Did they pick a bottom 2 or top 3 last time? I thought they picked it top 3.
they might have. I mean, one game doesn't say the same thing for another game. We've seen teams, pick one pick that did really good for them in the first 3, and then they don't pick in the next game, even though it could have easily been picked up. And then it's all what they're thinking, what their game plan is. Maybe they want to mix it up a little, as Uller would say. The team at no surprise. I mean, she's an annoying god to play against. That's for sure.
And it looks like the Overlords don't even want to give them the chance to run the Artemis for themselves.
And the Morgan Le Fay, 2 hard-hitting mages, by the way, along with the Sobek, the god that never seems to fall out of meta. It seems like, I mean, I've been talking about this guy for 2 seasons for this now. No matter how many times he gets nerfed, he still plucks people. He still hits people for a good chunk of their HP with his ultimate. And he's still pretty invincible at times.
Yeah. I mean, just having the pluck just always. I mean, all it takes is like one good pluck of like, say, their mid laner, and all of a sudden a fight can just completely turn around.
Yeah, and like I said before, like Sobek used to have a meta where it was just if you picked him and Hachiman in duo lane, you were guaranteed 2 kills. Like just guaranteed no matter what. You just pluck, stun, CG chain, done.
Cyrus.
However, with these bans, Osiris, popular jungle and solo pick, has made its way through.
So I'll be curious to see where that goes. Whether that's gonna go jungle or it's gonna go to solo.
Yeah, I mean we see a lot of people put in the jungle because I mean nothing's more annoying than a guy who's way tankier than he should be, just running at you, hitting you for like 200 plus with an auto, and then consistently slowing you, while also being way faster than you because of his 2.
And the mannequin scepter works great on him at the moment.
Yeah.
We see the soul hovered for the Overlords.
Yeah, that Soul isn't a bad pick. I mean, as weird as it sounds, I think Boots being removed kind of like roadblocked her for a little bit because when Boots were still in the game, you had Lifesteal Boots, Magus, and Typhon, and that trio was just insane how much
Yeah,
damage you could get in the early game.
but now she also has Vampiric that could
Athena.
just take over that spot of
Sire.
Power Boots.
Dude. And well, here's a very old combo, Athena and Soul. I mean, the only combo I think of that's more classic than that with Athena is probably Athena Medusa, which is quite an ironic combo considering the fact that the shield she has is her, well, Medusa's head in that case. But
So So I'm curious to know whether or not that. Do you think that soul's gonna end up going mid? I would assume it would.
Hey, who knows? Maybe you can see a good old
Fafnir.
Soul O pick. You
Mm-hmm.
never know. I mean, she's a god when she's tanky, but
Jingwei.
I mean, knowing Barrett, we never know. As Fafnir and Jingwei are locked in. Fafnir, he's risen back to prominence again, although he obviously still has his issue of he ults and he gets blown up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Jingwei, I mean, Jingwei's always going to be Jingwei. She's a safe pick in the Hunter role.
Although I think what we've been seeing a lot of Fafnir players do is they ult before the fight even starts, and then they
Yeah.
just use the Sunder to their advantage. So they ult before the fight starts, and they leap on somebody, and then immediately that person is just sundered and locked into place for more time than they should be.
Oh,
Is that a chalk pick?
You know, normally I go on a huge rant because Chalk's my man, but I don't know. It's an interesting pick. I mean, whenever I pick him, I prefer to see their mid at least or a immobile carry. But I mean, I don't know. Chalk's Chalk. You know, he has a huge slow field. He has a huge silence, good AOE control.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I want to see this mid pick or who he's going up against mid because
Honestly,
I feel like
I'd
Chalk's
expected you to be a lot more loud when this chalk got picked.
I mean, I don't know. It's been a roller coaster with this man as we went to second ban phase and Scylla and Erlong have been banned away. Chalk is good into Erlong actually, but I won't delve into the infinite Chalk matchups I know over my time of playing Chalk.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like they don't want to play against. They don't want to let Jinx have the Erlong again after last game.
Oh, actually, we'll say the one thing that Chalk has is that he silences Jing Wei outside of. She can't dash unless she beads is the knockup as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Raijin, I mean, a very, very strong mage. I mean, you get him to late game and Raiju will destroy a tank because it will slow them. It'll do probably a third of their HP with the combo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, against a squishy, then they're taking over 50% guaranteed.
Team groups up incorrectly for just one fight, and all of a sudden Raiju does your entire team's health bar. He also kills tanks quite efficiently.
Yeah.
Thor.
So now Thor. Oh, Thoth. Another T god is locked in. And yeah, I mean, yeah, this is a good matchup for Chalk. Any mid that's immobile enough is a good matchup for my man.
Mm-hmm.
Thoth, I mean, he has a dash, but he has an issue of he has an issue that most leap gods have, which is or
Susanoo.
dash gods, which is it's down, bum rushing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
Also,
what Fafnir suffers from in the opposite way, where if he jumps in, then everyone's just like, "Hey, this is when you can pile and tank."
Mm-hmm. It looks like that Osiris is going to be going solo with the lock-in of Susanoo.
It's the battle of the E-boy jungles here. Susanoo and Tsukiyomi coming here. No, it's
I
broken.
think it's broken.
But this soul though, so it looks like that's going to the AC lane unless they put Raijin in AC, which I don't know why you would, but
Mm-hmm. Well, after the way Archer looked at that on that Chang guy, I think I'd definitely rather him have a pick like this Raijin right now over the soul for himself.
yeah. I mean, in that dueling, you gotta be careful from that Athena soul combo because they certainly do a chunk of damage there combined.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess the tanks can be happy there won't be any crit this game on the side of Overlords unless Chalk or Tsukiyomi decide to build it.
Nah, chalk crit is nah. That's not a combo you do at this level. I mean, to be fair, you could pick up a Deathbringer last. I mean, if you want to go like way back in the seasons, I believe in like season 3 or 4, Baskin picks up Deathbringer last time when Amaterasu solo. I mean, you know, after the last game, he might go damage. So I don't know. We might be able to see a crit shock. Who knows? But also,
Yeah, last game he went to full damage Terra. All he had was the Lotus Crown for defense.
Tsukiyomi into Thoth is terrible for Thoth because that man, Tsukiyomi gets his ult off and he hits it just at the right time. There's no way Thoth is getting out of that. He either just gets blown up by the ultimate on the first half, or he dashes away and that gets blown up later anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Bit unfortunate for this mid pick, and that's just an unfortunate thing. I think when you're in this spot is that you get those last picks, but something like the jungle or the solo, or just one pick that can screw over that last mid pick still being available is just a very unfortunate thing for the Olympians here. I think, I mean, something they could do about it, but when you last pick a jungle like Tsukiyomi, I mean, it's just unlucky when you have Thoth.
Yeah, this stuff is definitely. I'm a little worried because, especially after last game with how many problems that Jinx caused him. I'm worried about how this game's gonna go now that Jinx has a Suki into him.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that last game, just yeah, I mean, they couldn't pick the right for themselves, which is unfortunate. But
Oh, okay.
I guess in the meantime, Chalk. I feel like whenever he knows I'm casting, he picks this because there is like no other universe where Chalk gets picked. It's just, hey, I'm gonna pick it because he's spectating, he's casting this game. I
Yeah,
want
but
to
you
say
had
thank
such a
you for that.
relaxed reaction to it. I was genuinely shocked.
Yeah, I mean, can't get too hyped for reasons right now, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like I said, I've been back and forth with my man over and over again. I mean, I'll say he's good. There should be a build that works for him, but then he just kind of falls back to, oh yeah, no one picks him. I mean, it drove me insane seeing Vamana, Bologna, and Odin being picked up again in SPL when Chalk is just laying alone there, like, and Nike too. The two gods, Nike and Vamana, the two gods that get completely countered out of their existence by two relics, still get favored over Chalk. I mean,
Is this the chalk
I
rant?
don't know. I mean, I'm really curious as to what he built because there's
Mm-hmm.
a few build paths. I mean, when Boots first got removed, Transcendence was a very viable start on him, but obviously got nerfed to a few hundred gold, which is a decent hit on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chalk's good at poking, especially if he has mannequins, which you can go if you go around does first. He's also good with the axe. There's just so much he's good with, but my analogy with Chalk, he's good on paper, but the issue is when paper is wet, it's useless. And that's what Chalk does. He makes paper wet. So
Mm-hmm.
paper
Also,
just ends up being useless.
yeah. Also, everyone watching, thank you for your patience. I believe the Overlords are swapping out their mid for Munchie, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little munchy.
Interesting though that Archer gets subbed out because I feel like Archer had a really good game last time.
Yeah, but I mean, Munchie,
Oh,
Munchie's
but that's in support though. So Private Fuzzy.
I don't know, Munchie. I mean, I've played with that guy since I started playing comp. I've been on that guy's team. Well, outside of these leagues, but I know this man can certainly pop off. I mean, if you give him any bit of a lead,
Mm-hmm.
he will absolutely run a game. I mean,
Wait, so is this Munchie support? No, he's playing mid. Is it Archer support?
yeah, I think it's gonna be the Archer support. Yep. Ooh, wait, what? I was gonna say no. I thought I saw the emoji get logged in. I was gonna be like, what?
Yeah, I saw the emoji. I was like, I didn't pick emoji. So
Yeah,
here we go, loading into game 2. Currently 1-0 for in the favor of the Overlords.
but yeah, I mean, I like Munchie on this Raijin. I mean, when he's feeling himself, he's playing hot. I mean, I remember one of my first games I ever teamed with him. He played Vulcan, and he was eating the everything life out of another team to the point where he was just Vulcan ulting their red buff. Even though they might not have been on it, he was just saying, I'm just gonna drop this here. Like he's good with momentum for sure. And I think this comp can easily work with it. I mean, Athena mentioned the soul combo, but I mean Athena gives you a free Raiju proc, and we already mentioned that can obliterate people. And it's just gonna keep doing that. Although Athena in general, I mean, she is just as prone to getting blown up herself. I mean, she has a very long windup for a dash that can easily be blocked. And her only form of CC is a taunt, which makes people hit you more. Which, I mean, if you get on AC, you might just get a couple autos that chunk you down immediately. Which is not what you like to feel. But
So judging by these comps, whose do you like more? And you cannot pick one because Chalk is on it.
I mean, I don't know. I like the feel of like the Olympians, but I see Raijin, Soul. Man, it's really hard not to put bias in here. I mean, I don't know, I like the Olympian side of a draft, but I mean, Raijin just there's lots of good counters on the side of Overlord. I mean, I know you mentioned not to bring up Chalk, but Chalk is good against Susano because Susano just wants to drop his abilities on your backlines, and Chalk, he's an aggressive player, but you can put him on the defensive just as easily, and he can peel very well on top of that. And against the Susano, you just ult the Susano, and that man is he's not having a good time. He doesn't have beads. He's definitely dead, I would say, in that situation. Again, with the Thoth I mentioned too, it's just I'm not too sure about this Thoth.
With the comp that Overlords have, I don't think they're gonna have a huge problem closing the distance gap that he creates, especially with the Tsukiyomi ultimate.
Yeah, I'm just not too fond of this Thoth pick. I feel like it has potential to be being down on. But let's look at a shot though. Will they go tier 2 Rondas, or will we see a possible Transcendence start?
I think he has to go the tier 2 fighter's mask against what is it? Against the Osiris. I feel like if he doesn't, he's just gonna get bullied out of lane.
I mean, I've seen this man do many strange things since I'm at work. I mean, there was a time when speed, full movement speed, tier, and Nike were a thing, and you saw that whole conundrum happen where you would just run around the team and they couldn't pin you down. So, but unfortunately, all those items got nerfed for that meta.
All the movement speed items got nerfed because I believe it was Solo or Troll just went, what if I build all of these?
Yep, and then we have instances where we see tiers and Nikes behind a Phoenix, even though there's a tier 2 tower up and they're 1v3ing. It's just ridiculous. But that was if you were soloing, that was a fun meta. But if you were any other role, I mean, it wasn't fun, to say the least.
Oh, another thing I didn't notice, Wally is now in solo. I believe, was it Desta their last game? No, it was Owen. Oh wait, so now Owen's in jungle, Wally is in solo, and Desta is now in support.
I mean, Wally, from what I've known before, he was a solo laner, unless I didn't know him much earlier on, but he's definitely a good solo laner.
Minions have spawned.
Can't say anything against him. I mean, he also sort of has that momentum where he gets a huge swing of momentum in his favor, he will push it. I remember seeing him, I believe it was in a final set in another time I was casting where he was basically 1v5ing and just completely switched the game around for his team. But interesting, Tsukiyomi starting on the red buff. I actually haven't seen this start at all.
I think that start is definitely for their duo side because they just get the lane so much earlier.
Yeah.
And they get the pressure. Although another thing I noticed is this Soul opted to go the Bancrofts over there.
Not the
Or not the
Bancroft,
Bancrofts,
actually
the Death
Stoll,
Stole.
yeah.
Death Stole, I can't use words.
That's interesting. I mean, sustain is sustain, but I'm very questionative of this. I mean, Death's temper is not really stellar on her either. It's interesting. And ooh, that
I think
whip
he
stun,
really
I
wanted
mean,
that double stun.
yeah, got a bit too greedy. I mean, it could force speeds out, but good on long count to hold those and not try and preemptively use them. But in the suicide, I mean, there's a ton of pressure compared to little to no pressure. I mean, Jingwei is notoriously known for not really that much pressure. Although
See
Jinx,
Jinx looking for the
early
gank over
rotation.
here.
Good taunt, no beads were used. Just accepting the death. Actually, no.
Oh, Jingwei just goes the other way and no one was ready for it.
Wow, that was just that's unfortunate.
There's just a little bit of miscommunication. I think Jinx was waiting for the dash, but she held it. And so I think he just assumed that Soul would be able to kill her, but she just dashes off to the side and managed to get away.
Yeah, I mean, bit up more with Tsukiyomi so far. This Jinx. That's I'm kind of surprised. I mean, sure he missed the first one, but I mean that second one that should have been a kill.
And we do see Chalk getting the pressure over this Osiris solo.
Yeah, I mean, not too surprised, Chalk. Both these gods can beat down on one another, depending on who drops what first and who drops whatever next ability first, and whether or not that ability hits. It's a lot of intricacies, but not too surprising. Chalk just has good clear. Especially with the Fire's Mask, I mean, it's basically what full boost used to be, power-wise. And that was probably one of Chalk's best power spikes.
So it looks like the builds all right now look pretty standard for the most part.
Yeah, Raijin going for that Ramp Shroud. Tier 2 Pen, going for a Pen start. We did see for a while, but we've seen it come back a little bit. Blink in, good ultimate though. Just in time, I mean. Still do have the beats if he'd mess it up, but good play by Wally to get out there alive.
Especially just keeping out that Lord. If Parrot managed to keep that Lord of the Afterlife down, it's gonna make it so much harder for this Osiris to rotate and get into these fights.
Yeah, it makes it much easier for Chalk to be done. That is a very aggressive dash in any situation.
This is definitely a little greedy, especially since that Tsukiyomi hit 5 on those left mids. That
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
could have spelled for some disaster there if they had been ready for it.
I mean, this was former seasons where, there's very commonly a ward on mid right there. That could have been a kill. But I mean, just look how annoying Raiju is. I mean, that thing just jumps everywhere. It's like a Zeus chain, except even better. Because it can actually bounce much more reliably to everything else. But you know what? A good switch so far in the star items. Oh, actually, that's on mid lane. Looks like Longcon was picked off. Tsukiyomi tries to get the stun off, but again, isn't enough. So the shield wall will be good enough, though, under the tower. And a quick 2 kills to Overlord. And the red buff, not quite in their hands. Just a bit off with that timer. But good start either way for Team Overlord.
I mean, Although, I mean, that's just the strength of Athena right there. I mean, all of a sudden, a 2v3 just turns into a 3v3 and someone's HP gets slammed
Yep.
from the ultimate.
I think it's a sneaky good amount of damage. I mean, you know, there's a reason she's one of the top dual guardians, actually, is she does a huge chunk of damage, especially early on. I mean, late game, you're obviously not doing her for damage, you're using her for that mitigations and taunt combo, but late on, you got some extra little, got a nice little extra chunk of damage there.
Also, another thing to look at, it looks like Parrot's doing it again.
The Transcendence?
Oh, it looks like he wants to go full damage this game, too.
I mean, Transcendence really isn't bound shock. I think, like I said, it's the nerf to the item for its cost did kind of punch it down a bit, but it could work. Two-man taunt. Beads were up, but it holds them on. I don't know if you... Maybe you want the beads there. He just took about 35% of his HP, and there's a Tsukiyomi lurking in the jungle, although he has to be careful because here's Tsukiyomi's issue. He can't get out of a fight like this, and he might just get sniped, and he does! But no, he does not get the ult off, but both will be traded out in return, a 1-for-1. Jungle for mid.
Yeah, it looks like Jink was trying to reach that Thoth there, but the Fafnir just transforms and makes him stand in place, which forced him to ult, but he never, like you said, he never got to get really into the, into the dashing part.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Tsukiyomi wants to fight on his terms. If he fights on someone else's terms, he's dead. That's just what we saw there, and that's just what happens to him. Like, and Susanna's definitely got that can counter this. Is Athena coming in, they're looking for this blue buff invade, and barring a good... Actually, there's the ultimate there for him. Silence is good, and like I said, Chalk's great against the Susanna. That's a blue buff invade and a kill into the jungle. And like I said, he had no beads there, so he's just a Sin Duck.
And it looks like Overlords are going to get this Fire Scorp down. I think we'll finally start looking at these objectives.
I mean, hell, Soul's not too far from taking that that Gopher Scorpion as well. As Wally... Okay, I was gonna say, I thought there was just an Athena there, but the rest of his team was there, so... Well, he got a bit too aggressive and, well, pushed up into his death right there. I was gonna say, there shouldn't be a world where the Athena solos in Osiris.
So interesting thing from Soul, it looks like Soul just opted to finish the Telekines instead of finishing, that's probably a Karen's coin?
Yeah, I mean, you don't quite need the end of a Sharon's coin this early on. I mean, you're probably not really fighting around that lane at this point, as we've seen, so...
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be able to fight much with against a Jingwei.
Telekines is interesting, though. I mean, it's the most powerful item in that tree when it comes to, you know, true power, per se. Although, if you want to just run down this Jingwei like you're doing, you just go Hasten Ring. You're not quite a Freya, where you can just hit 200 damage gumballs every other second, but still do a good chunk of damage.
It looks like the Overlords did also all rotate over, but there's no Gold Fury up, so they'll have to just settle for the Gold Scorpion instead.
Tsukiyomi, Susano goes for Pluck, but remembers it's a soul and she just evaporates away. But yeah, I'm still intrigued by this Death Soul start.
And not even the fact it's just the Death Toll. There's no lifesteal for her yet.
Yeah, I mean it's I mean, you could have easily gone the on the shrouds, but alas, maybe they see something that we don't. As Chalk shouldn't be getting out here alive. I mean, 4 man rotation solo lane. He gets a kill on us actually because of the damage he has. But I mean, it costed them 3 ults to kill the damage Chalk, and Chalk still managed to get a kill on the mid laner, which is
yeah. But then Overlord just immediately pulls this goal. This is what Parrot likes to do. He likes it when teams do that to him and gank him like that, and then the rest of his team just does this, goes and pulls a gold.
But then that's got Jingwei on top of that, and I don't know why Jingwei's there, honestly. I mean, she's She's on the wrong side of the jungle there.
I mean,
Yeah, like I
I, think
mentioned
she-
before, though. I mean,
I don't think looking for the steal is Peva. Like, yeah, like you said, she should have just. I mean, I get if you want to be sneaky, but I think she's just gotta like kind of walk in front of them and then just dash and ult away if they chase her.
yeah. And like I mentioned, and like you mentioned too, that he just loves when he has 4 people come to solo lane, which, I mean, it's only, at least me personally, I hate that, but...
I don't have
like
a
I said,
problem with it if like. No, that's like what he wants. I'm sure he wouldn't want to be ganked, but like if when he gets ganked and then his whole team just gets a Gold Fury and gets massive off of it,
Yeah,
like I'm sure that's
but
exactly what he wants to see.
I don't know. I play hyper aggressive / hyper passive at the same time, so I'd rather live there. I'd rather play a bit more carefully than he did. But I mean, either way, I don't know how Thoth allows himself to die in that combo, though. I mean, should be able to dash out that. Thing that blinks in, no beads, and the Tsukiyomi bolt combo. That should spell a doom for this Thoth. Not enough damage from the old self, but finally the stun range true, and Longtime will fall for his 4th death of this match.
Yeah, I think this. He's playing the Thoth, but it looks like he's having a really hard time playing that distance game right now. But part of that's just because the Tsukiyomi, the moment you dash, you just immediately get.
Oh no! The wall body blocked the dash, but
Susano almost dies there as Athena comes for another one of her blue buffs now.
yep. I mean, and if you're not giving Athena that blue buff too, you're being very
But
real. Though.
Osiris did get it though. He managed to get the steal.
That was a bit of a shit right there, I'd say. Good ult early just to realize, hey, if I don't ult any sooner, they're gonna be able to pick me off even if I ult anyways. So
Yeah,
Good
he's
recognition
got to
there.
use it. There's a Raijin running at him with Spirit Deso and Karen's coin built already.
yeah, I mean, actually double spears on the Magus for both mid laners. These build builds are always interesting. You see some items go in, some items randomly disappear and then come back again. Magus, I think, has mostly been there since the changes, but it's a really good item. I mean, over 100 power, good pen, gives you that 7% extra damage from all sources. It's just a good item. Again, Tsukiyomi caught out, but he'll have a team this time around. Give him a bit more space, and but make sure not to get spilled again. As damn, this is a taunt. Still charges the ult. I'm not too sure about firing this one, although they will straight onto the Athena. Athena actually might be able to get picked off here if there's mage damage, but no, the stealth is just a bit too far away. Tsukiyomi forced the ult off the Osiris, rotating over. And transformation from Fafnir tells me that they might have wanted to still fight, but fortunately there's no world where there's a sneaky little very early fire giant pull, I guess, where their AC was there now. Nothing they could do.
It was an
there,
interesting fight because even though a team might have won that fight, there really isn't anything to win off of fights right now.
Yeah,
with
I
both
mean,
Gold and Pyromancer being down.
yeah, like I said, the only thing that's there is fire giant. I mean, they aren't necessarily sneaking at 13 minutes for gold or anything. I mean, it doesn't really give that much of an advantage early on. But look at the Bill is a solo kill. Armor Wolf solos the soul for getting way too greedy. Trying to fight Jing Wei all the way back in her tower line, and I don't think she respected the crit. I was just about to mention that she's got that rage online, and I think Soul got crit a good few times in a row.
Honestly, the crit's making me worried for Parrot right now because if he's gonna go another full damage soul laner, then this Jing Wei's probably gonna grit him for like 500, 600 when she's finished with her build.
Yeah, but the way you counter that is you just have the rest of your team just barrel down that Jing Wei as well. So you have the Athena that can do that. You have the Tsukiyomi that can also try and do that. Athena gets put out to half in mid. And this Fury is set to respawn very soon, so I think a ton of wards we dropped. Actually, 0 wards currently up on the side of the Olympians, where everyone has wards on Overlord plus 3 sentries. This team is being very thorough. Early shot, no dash up, I guess, for this both, and
Full
just
damage shot will
blowing
just
up.
one shot your mid laner.
Yep. I mean, I like I like these two items. I like Transcendence and Jotuns together because 30% C or 30% CDR and a ton of power between those two items is just amazing in the jungle. I mean, sure this is a solo laner, but hold on, it looks like Cyrus up downs and well, the usual happens. So it's only up downs gets picked off there. Tsukiyomi dashes back and forth. Looks like he lands on the AC and actually no, Tsukiyomi or the Susanoo. Pardon me.
Keep that up.
But so,
I might have to
with
show my
30
real
HP,
strength.
we got alive.
Killing spree.
Can't say the same for the Fafnir, who was jumpless and, well, gets picked and comes back to down the hard way.
Yeah, looking at these levels, I feel like Olympians need to kind of should have just like given up this primal and just have gone somewhere else to farm.
Yeah,
Like tried to strip like the entire right jungle or something, because I mean they're about 8k gold down. Like that gold really wouldn't have made. I don't know. Olympians just need to like kind of find a way to get themselves up and farm and kind of like mitigate the losses that they're feeling right now.
I mean, and Wally, he just got blown up there. I mean, he's level 12. He's the same level as the, not even actually below the level of the Overlord support. I mean, you can't even frontline at that point. I mean, there's just nothing you can do, and it's kudos to him for staying true to the solo of just up downing. I mean, personally, I don't like up downing as a solo, but you know. Oh, gets on again. No beats still, and Raijin doing the thing, leaping in, hold the charge, does 500 damage, but not enough to dissuade Little Munchie on this Raijin. I mean, we get that good of a charge on your Thoth ult,
Looks
and
like
the other mid
Olympians
is
still want to
still
fight.
running at you.
Thoth is choosing to stay when the Tsukiyomi has reappeared.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say he's safe enough, but speaking of not being safe, perfect hits of the drum from Munchie. Picks up this Susanoo for only third time this match. Good Sunder though on to Jinx. Might expose Zoom, but shocks damage. I mean, 400 plus in one ability gets a kill. Jinx will get picked off, but it looks like some perfect body blocking. This Athena will survive, and it'll be a 4-for-1 trade, and that likely might just be the Fire Giant.
Looks like Jingwei did choose the split push, but unfortunately she wasn't able to get that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, fortunately, can't even get a little bit of a consolation prize. No, yeah, Tsukiyomi, which I mean, you don't get a shutdown bonus on either. It's not like you got a little boost from the nose. It's a tiny little kill.
And it looks like Para is finally choosing to go some defense. I think that's going to be a CAD shield.
Probably.
They haven't built any anti-heal on the side of Olympians yet.
I'm almost expecting an An style maybe just to ruin this Thoth's day even more maybe.
Anti-heal's not going to do that much to him though, because you know his one isn't already. It's not going to stop the one, and it's not going to stop the dash.
Well, if he uses the one, let's say the Thoth panics though and uses the one, he can't dash out of it at that point. He can't dash out of the ultimate if shocks ultimate and he can't do anything against the Raijin that's just jumping on its head. I mean, one drum, not even needing anymore. The actual just plunked into the support. 0-7, not having a good time this
Actually,
game.
I'm pretty sure Longfound plays mid or prefers mid over support, but he's just wound up in support the past few seasons.
Yeah, I mean, again, you mentioned we didn't really. His Thoth pick might have too easy of a time playing this game, and I mean, I'm seeing exactly why. 0-7, he's got a tier 2, I want to say it's going to be a Typhon's Fang coming up online, but there's just not much you can do. I mean, not much his team can do either way. I mean, 11k down, 19 minutes in, Chaka's running at your green buff. There's just not much you can do on the side of Olympians. I mean,
And it looks like Overlords do want this bird here.
yeah, they're being aggressive on this. Linked on in. No beats. Will beats late from Jingwei, but look at Fafnir's HP. He's almost dead. Snipe does not come through, and Shock will finish off that Fafnir. As well as Susanoo. Lots of low HP bars, but not low enough, and Wally falls as well, making that a 3 for none for the moment. Looks like it's going to be a 4 once Longbound gets found for his 8th death of the match.
I think that's just game.
And yeah, that's game. As I say, there's a little bit of shining light with a couple low HP bars on the side of Overlord, but everyone else just got blown up. And this will be a quick. Well, they're gonna go for the kill like any good team that's in this position will do, and a quick 2-0 in 20 minutes and 31 seconds this game. Pretty quick match.
Apparently well played by the Overlords, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, they just abused Longfound both games.
Yeah, I mean, not much you can do. Good. I mean, again, same thing as last game. The mid, I mean, still got a lot of kills, but they were mostly late in the game. But if you look at where the kills really like snowball out of control, and it was from Munchie and Parrot from Solo. The same two things as last time. Just they couldn't stop this. A bit of that actually comes, I have to say, to that Athena gank early on the Solo lane, which helped that get out of control.
It's just so hard to match that Athena's rotation when she's just ulting all over the map.
Yeah, and there's just not much you can do when you're mid 7-8, unfortunately. Wally too, unfortunately, couldn't find too much. I mean, Solo, it's usually the last to fall when your team is suffering, but when there's a guy like Athena in the game and she can just rotate to your lane, then it's kind of hard being a solo in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you go, it's like you want to go into like a Frost on here possibly, which I don't think was going to do much, even if they did come back from that spot. Yeah, Parrot and these tanks that build damage. That's just been the case this set.
Yeah, he really just said, I'm gonna build full damage each game, and you guys aren't gonna kill me, and that's quite literally what he did both games.
Yeah, only one death. Only one death throughout the entire set. Building full damage. I mean, there could have definitely been one the game before too on that Terra. He got very low, but I mean, even with some rotations in from positions too on the side of Overlord, I mean, they just executed their plan flawlessly. Nothing more to say. They said, we're going for the stove. And we're just bullying him out of existence, you know?
Or Larfon did not get to play the game.
But that's been the set. I believe now it's 0-7 and then 5-2. Oh, the Overlords are 5-2 and the Olympians are 0-7, but that'll be today's set. I'm Caster Gaming Fan. Alongside Ormer.
Let's see, tune back in at 7:30. I believe this channel will have Skogs versus Ice Age in the Thor division, right?
I believe so.
Game of the week, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's the game of the week from what I've been told. Everyone make sure you tune back in here at 7:30.
I'm biased because I'm actually
Snooze.
playing that game.
Snooze can wake up for a 7:30 game, but can't wake up for a 2:00 set.
Unfortunate.
I know that
Guy.
feeling. Anyways, we'll catch you then.